Dear student, today our next part of the video of the chapter your work, power, energy. So this part is part 8. In this part, I will explain you that the application of law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of energy for simple pendulum. For simple pendulum. Okay. After finishing this, I will also show you the important numericals that will also help you to practice your exercises of numerical related to this chapter. Okay. And that is your numericals. This will be discussed today. Okay. So there are two topics for today's video. So let me see. The first is your application of law of conservation of energy for simple pendulum. Okay. Suppose this is a simple pendulum, which is, you know very well what is a pendulum, that you have studied in class 9. When a heavy bob duly suspended from the rigid support, this is your rigid support. From this rigid support, when a heavy bob is suspended with the help of an inextensible string. Okay, here the string is inextensible. This string is inextensible. Even if this bob is heavy, so due to the gravitational pull, this string will not expand. So this is a inextensible string. In this arrangement, that heavy ball duly suspended from the rigid support with the help of an inextensible string, it constitutes a simple pendulum. Now, suppose the pendulum is at rest position. So this position is A. You can consider it as your mean position of rest. Mean position of rest. Okay. So this level is the level of your mean position of rest. You can consider this as your zero potential. You can consider this line, that is the mean position of rest, is your zero potential. Actually, it is not zero potential, you can say minimum potential. But here we will think that this pendulum is in the isolated system, so we are neglecting the air friction. So that is why we can consider this, that this level is your zero level. So here we can consider the height is zero. That is why we consider, for our simplicity, that here the potential energy is zero. But actually there should be the minimum kinetic energy. Okay. When you displaces this pendulum by up to this position, you are applying a deforming force and you displaces this pendulum up to this position. That means here the pendulum have raised up to a certain height. Raised from this line of your mean position of rest, the line of mean position of rest, you have raised this much of height and reaches the point B from your A position. Here, in this position, your potential energy is your zero. Here at position A, let us consider a pendulum. Let us consider a pendulum is at rest when it is, let us consider a pendulum is rest when it is in the position A. So therefore, in this position, potential energy is your zero. and you are applying, because you are applying a force to displace this pendulum and reaches the point B. Okay, so when it reaches to point B, then it raises a height of h meter above the line of mean position of rest. So in this position, when you are in B, so here potential energy at B is your mgh. Because the pendulum has the mass, let us consider a pendulum of mass say m kg, mass m kg is at rest. Let us consider a pendulum of mass m kg is at rest. When it is in the A position, its potential energy is 0. When it reaches up to a point B, due to the application of your force, you displaces this object, this pendulum, up to point B. Then when it reaches B, then it raises up to a height of h meter from this mean position of the line of your mean position of rest. So that means when it reaches B, it acquires a potential energy of mgh, where g is the acceleration due to gravity. Here kinetic energy at B is 0. Kinetic energy at B is 0 because you are still holding the pendulum at its height. You are not released the deforming force. You are not released the force while holding it. So that means at this position, the body is at rest after raising a height of h meter. So here the kinetic energy is 0. So total energy at B is your potential energy plus kinetic energy. So that means potential energy is your mgh plus 0 is your mgh. Okay, so here kinetic energy is your at B, kinetic energy is your 0 and potential energy is your mgh at B. Okay, so now when you release the deforming force, so you release. Now what will happen? This gradually, due to the gravitational pull, this pendulum descend downward. When you release this pendulum, gradually descend downward and height decreases, and thereby the pendulum acquires some velocity. Okay, so here while releasing the force, the pendulum, the bob, due to gravitational pull, try to come back to mean position of rest. So this B try to come to mean position of rest, and thereby potential energy, so potential energy converted into potential energy converted into kinetic energy, and when it reaches A, say it acquire a velocity of your v meter per second. So in this case the potential energy at A is your 0 because your height is 0, since h is your 0, and kinetic energy acquired is your half mv square. So as we know, here the friction of air is negligible and the pendulum is kept in an isolated system. This entire potential energy, that is your mgh, converted into kinetic energy. So here total energy, here this half mv square must be equal to mgh, because total kinetic energy, total potential energy at B converted into kinetic energy and thereby acquiring a velocity v. So half mv square will be equal to mgh. Now velocity at B, velocity, if you will cancel your mm, so velocity of the acquired is your square root of 2gh. You listen, you cross multiply 2 here, then v square equal to 2gh, then v will be equal to square root of 2gh. So this much of velocity it acquire while it reaches A. So after that what will happen? Due to the inertia of motion, this object, this bob of the pendulum try to reaches this position, that is the position C, of the same height. It acquire again same height. So this height is also again same, that what it was in B. Height of B and height of C is same from the mean position of rest. So here at C, here again potential energy equal your mgh, and since here it again come to rest, then kinetic energy at C is your again 0. So here after this you see that total potential energy converted into potential energy that it was having in B converted into kinetic energy. So and acquire a velocity v equal to square root of 2gh. Okay, and total energy at A is your potential plus kinetic. So total energy is your again mgh, because here potential energy is 0 and kinetic energy is your mgh, because it is equal to half mv square. Here potential energy is 0 and it has kinetic energy only, mean position of rest. Okay, now it is clear. Now for next you see, when it reaches again, after due to the inertia of motion, after that due to inertia of motion, the bob of pendulum swing up to same height and on other direction, swing same height and reaches C, same height and reaches point C. So therefore at C potential energy again it acquire mgh and kinetic energy again it 0, because here again the pendulum come to rest when it reaches point C after acquiring a height of h meter. So that means you see here also total energy at C, total energy here, that is potential at C is your potential plus kinetic, that is your mgh plus 0 means again mgh. So in this way, now it is fact that during its swing it continuous changes its potential to kinetic and then kinetic to again potential on the other side. So it establishes the law of conservation energy provided this pendulum should be kept in an isolated system considering that air friction must be equal to 0. Okay, clear? Now for the next topic I have to remove it. Now I will explain you few numericals related to this chapter. Say numerical 1 is your a pendulum related to this, the bob of pendulum. Say the bob of pendulum, you know, have the velocity of 5 meter per second. When this 5 meter per second, when it is in the mean position, the bob of pendulum have the velocity of 5 meter per second when it is in the mean position of rest. Okay, so that means in this diagram what we have right now, in that position this bob have the velocity of your 5 meter per second. Clear? Now to what maximum height the bob of pendulum, what maximum height the bob will your rise on the extreme side, either right or left. Okay, to what maximum height the bob will rise on the extreme side, that is either at C or at B from the mean position of rest. Okay, here we will consider here. Now one condition is also given in this question, that if the 60% efficiency, if the 60% efficiency is lost due to overcome 60% efficiency is lost due to overcome of air friction. So here to what maximum height the bob will rise on the extreme side if 60% efficiency is lost to overcome the air friction. Consider that take G equal 10 meter per second square. In this question it is given that G is your 10 meters per second square. So you see here, this is your rigid support and this is your mean position of rest A. Here V is your 5 meter per second, and say this bob reaches up to this position. From mean position of rest, this acquire a height of your h meter. So you just, for solution, you just write given that given here your given part is your here G equal your 10 meter per second square, and V at A, means mean position is your say 5 meter per second. So let mass of bob, because mass is not given, I was just searching that whether mass of the bob is given or not. Here mass of the bob is not given. Let mass of bob you have to consider as your m kg. So therefore kinetic energy at A is your half m into v square, means your 5 meter per second whole square. Okay, so this is your equation 1. So this kinetic energy converted into potential energy. Okay, but here 60% energy is lost. So here the loss of energy, is your 60% of your half into m into v square is your 5 meter per second whole square, means this is your 60 by 100 into 1 by 2 into m into 25. So this much of, you can say, joule of energy that is lost. Okay, so then what will happen? Then the remaining energy is only useful for raising the bob up to this height, this say point B. Okay, so remaining energy, a percentage of your remaining energy is your 100% minus 60% is your 40%. So this 40% of energy is used to raise the object up to point B. So therefore according to question at B, according to question, potential energy at B is your mgh. So this is your equation 2, and this energy according to question, according to your laws of conservation of energy, here this potential energy must be equal to the kinetic energy. So here you can say that your mgh must be equal to 40% of your half into m into 25, this much of joule. Okay, so your m or m cancel each other. G you have to take your 10, so this is your 10 into h equal, here you can say 25, 4 is your 100, and 4 and 2 8, then 8 5 40. So here you have got 5 and here 10, then h will be equal 5 by 10, means 0.5 meter, or you can say 0.5 into 100 centimeter. So this will be your 50 centimeter. This is your 50 centimeter. So the object, that is your bob of pendulum, reaches after acquiring a height of your 50 centimeter or 0.5 meter. This will be your, the answer here mutually cancel each other, and only 40% energy is converted from kinetic energy to potential energy, because in this question it is mentioned that 60% energy is lost. Here Okay, for next question I have to remove it. Okay. Now next I will solve this numerical also. If you will see the numerical, a hydroelectric power station takes its water up to a level of 50 meter above the turbine. That means lake, there is a dam and the water is stored up to a height of 50 meter and turbine is below 50 meter from the top of the your dam, because hydroelectric power station must have a water reservoir, that is say dam, and water falls from a height of 50 meter. Okay, so assuming that the efficiency of 40%, that conversion of energy will take place only 40%. So remaining energy is being lost. So calculate the mass of water must flow through the turbine in second to produce power of 1 megawatt. To produce power of 1 megawatt, and you have to consider small g equal your 10 meter per second square. This is your small g, that is your acceleration due to gravity, it is given. So first from this you have to write the given part. Your given part is, here you have to determine the mass, but height above lake, height of level of water, height of level of water is your say 50 meter. Height is your 50 meter, small g is your 10 meter per second square, and your power output is, that means power generated 1 megawatt. 1 megawatt means 10 to the power 6 watt. This much of watt is produced in 1 second. Time is your 1 second. This much of energy is produced. Power is produced. So as we know, energy per second is your energy, E is equal to P into T. Here power is your 10 to the power 6 watt into 1 second. That means energy is per second is your E equal to P into T, that is equal to 10 to the power 6 watt into 1 second. So therefore energy produced per second is your 10 to the power 6 joule. So this much of energy definitely converted from the potential energy. So therefore, and you know that only the efficiency of your power station is your 40%. So here you see, that means you know very well the efficiency is here, efficiency is 40%. That is your power input, that is your power energy, or you can say energy output by energy input. You can write power also, but since we have already converted into energy, so energy output by energy input must be into 100% is your 40%. Okay, so that means your energy output is your 10 to the power 6. So according to this question, your 10 to the power 6 joule divided by energy input, say mass of the water is your small m kg into g is your 10 meter per second square into h is your 50 meter into 100%, then you have got 40%. Clear? So then you will got 40%. So you have to take m to that side. So for that, what we will have to do? You just say therefore m equal, here it is 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power 6, and 10 will be remain in the denominator, into 50 will be remain in the denominator, and here this 40, here it is 100, for percentage it is there 100%, and 40 will become downward. Then what will happen? You now solve it. 10 to the power 6, again 2, 10 to the power 8, and here 1 and 3, there are 3 zeros. So you can cancel 0, 0, and then again 1 0 here, then you can say this is 5. So here 10 to the power 5 and 10 to the power 5, say 100 into 1000 into 100 is your 10 to the power 5. Then here it is 5 into 4. Clear? So again 4, 25 ja 100, and then 5 ja your 25. 5 into 1000 is your 5000 kg. So mass of water required to acquire an energy of 10 to the power 6 joule or power output of 10 to the power 6 watt, that means 1 megawatt in 1 second, then mass of water must be required is your 5000 kg. Okay, this much is sufficient for today. Again we will come with next chapter for your next day, and you try to solve the exercises of your numerical. Bye.